Talk a little bit about why you all decided to have, hey, both a leader award and kind of an individual contributor award. Now, I think for our customers, maybe just a little background, I see that there's more programs focused on individual contributors.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as leaders, I think there's a whole love the notion of servant leadership, right? And hey, doing something not to seek reward is kind of like one of the pillars of how I think about what a leader should be. But as a leader, and just as a human, it feels really good as a leader when you're recognized,
Mm-hmm.
right? When your team's doing well, when you're kind of called out and acknowledged for like your contributions. And I would just love to just hear like, what was that like? Why did you decide to kind of build out a leadership program in addition to the IC program?
Yeah, very similar experience that you had, where in other companies that I've worked, very, very focused on our individual contributors, which absolutely, that is right. And managers oftentimes, or leadership, was discounted. So it wasn't, you get enough credit, so you shouldn't have to be a part of this pool of people. But our leaders are really what drive our core values. So if they are emulating our core values, if they are emulating our pillars, that actually has such a positive impact on the rest of the organization. And we have very high standards for our leaders. So if you get to, if you have the honor, I mean, and I say honor, to influence and lead a team, you're probably pretty awesome. And I think it's really important that there's recognition for that. We still, as leaders, need that reinforcement that we're doing an okay job. And so I would hate to carve out something just for one part of the population. Yep. I think it has to be inclusive, and this is how we went about creating that.
Cool. No, I think it totally holds to your core value of being inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I think subtly it does that I think other companies could learn from is, when you're an IC, you come into the new company, you're like, hey, your job recs, you kind of know your day-to-day responsibilities, but what does great look like, right? Every other month, folks are coming on, getting recognized, talking about contributions at an IC level, and that, they're seeing what great is because it's being recognized. Now, I think like, some folks say like, hey, the best ICs should become managers. I don't know if it's always the case, right? And I think like what you all are doing is actually like setting a precedent of like, hey, if you want to be a leader, and if this is like your career trajectory, this is what in addition to being good at your job, what it means to be a great leader here. Mm-hmm. People can start emulating that, before they are even leaders.
Absolutely. Right? Yeah, I agree with that.
So I really love that. It's just, I think of recognition as being one of the most organic ways to just really amplify what you care about as an organization. And I love seeing this, and I love this design.